Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, it's SpaceX IPO. Did you enjoy the ride today? I did not. I was too busy with some pressing issues, ladies and gentlemen, and you need to get those assets that pay you, and I don't know if SpaceX is going to pay you. We're going to talk about this in a little bit more, how SpaceX is even formed and how much money they really make, which is not what you think to make the evaluation work. But we'll get into that and a whole lot more shortly because something came up with our little project that we're working on. Asset protection, ladies and gentlemen, number one. And welcome. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to all right. Oh, this isn't good. We're switching back and forth. Is that what we're doing? I can't tell. Mic check, mic check. Let me know you guys can hear me. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Let's talk about this SpaceX real quick. Because it's a master class on when something doesn't work, you just keep moving the ball down the road. Some of you don't understand how the processes work, but I'll start off with Elon Musk. Remember when he bought Twitter, aka now known as X, and he spent 40 some $billion, and after he did that, he finds out it's worth $5 billion. So all of his friends, the Saudi guys, the Oracle, the son and the father, the guys that own Oracle, all the other little Silicon Valley whiz kids and older men, they decide to join in, give him some money. Well, it's not worth what, the 40 some million. And also Goldman Sachs and all those guys who wrote some of that paper, also they're not getting their money out. So what do? They do the next best thing. He goes, oh, I have a company, XAI. It's artificial intelligence. It's better than OpenAI and ChatGPT and all this rambling nonsense. So what do? They move all the owners and shares into XAI, but meanwhile, it's all private companies. So when a company's private, you can say all kind of crap. You can always say, oh, in 2 years we'll have robots. In 2 years we'll have this. And because it's private, it does not matter. So after they rolled it into XAI, they found out, oh my, this costs a lot of money to do this. We're not getting our money back. Doggone it. So now what do they have to do? They go, I know. I have company SpaceX. We can roll everything over into SpaceX so we can finally get you guys your exit on those billions. So I know you guys are going to have some of these shares at around $125, $135. So that way you'll get your money back. Because this is going to be $1 trillion. And that's what they did, ladies and gentlemen. So who do you think owns the bulk of the shares? Can you name them? BlackRock? Sound familiar? Goldman Sachs? You see how this works, ladies and gentlemen? Because they're getting reimbursed. Some of those UAE and Saudi Arabian people, they got some shares in this too. So they can benefit from this IPO'd to get all their money back and then some. Remember, they don't have shares at 135, 155, 145. Remember, their shares are probably $25 each. So they now all got reimbursed today. With no lockdown period, by the way, I'm sure. So this is how they do it. By the way, do you know SpaceX is deploying satellites? Do you know the only company that makes money is Starlink? It's not called SpaceX. A masterclass, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing it again. And in default, he gets to be a trillionaire. Let me know what you guys think out here. Did you get some of this IPO? Let me know. Omar, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline, good evening to you. And make sure everybody you smash that like button because the YouTube guys know that they don't like to show us any love. All right, I hear you. Thank you so much for that, Omar. I hope the mic is on the right channel setting. Hold on, let me just double check while we're at it. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Okay, we've had some technical difficulties. And EV Place is in the house. The evil genius is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he has that tagline and that icon going next to his name. So I humbly appreciate you being in the house. And he brings his tagline, good evening, SSN. I hope you all are doing well. Man, I was doing well. I was doing real well. Until I found out about a project could possibly be in turmoil. A problem. But it's okay. It's all going to be rectified one way or another. All right. I'm happy to see that you're in the house, EV Place. And once again, we have those things. The tenants. Just so you know, you might have missed out on SpaceX. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You know my policy. I wait 60 to 72 hours before doing any IPO market trades. Because generally it just comes back down a little bit after day 2 or day 3. And then it'll settle in a little bit. And then either way it'll go down or it'll go back up. But either way, I don't know what to make of SpaceX. It does not really generate revenue. So it's kind of a holy grail kind of thing that all these people got their money back. So hopefully let me know if you guys are in SpaceX. If you guys bought in SpaceX, I believe it went up 20%, which is minor compared to most IPOs. It didn't bounce 50% or 40 or nothing, so it stayed right where it should have. Not much moved, even though it moved, but it shouldn't have went that much. And no, I did not trade, just so you guys understand. I've been too busy worrying about the empire. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The empire. Been worried about it because it has one flaw, unfortunately. All right, so let's get into it some more because you got to buy assets, and some of those are stocks. 90% of the stocks are owned by the top 10% of the wealthiest. That is the first clue that that's where you should be doing some of your bidding. Now, what we talk about here is you need disposable income. Where are you going to get disposable income from? You go findhelp.org. That's the first place because some of those social services, some of those nonprofits can help you out. And that's money that you don't have to spend. And just like post-retirement travel used to say, a little cup of coffee every day buys you some shares of stocks. All right. Now, findhelp.org. That's the first place to go. Put in your zip code. We're going to keep this very simple this evening because I got work to do. All right? We got work to do. Got a lot of work to do, but I'm going to have the weekend off, though. But I'm still going to be doing some work because it's actually paper. It's not really doing what I want to do because of it's got to be at a standstill right now. All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get you guys to find help. The usual suspects are going to be in the house, right? Findhelp.org. Just go check it out. If you're out here in the general population and you're having a hard time, just go look, put in your zip code. There's help in America. You got to go find it. All right? You got to go get it. Don't be shy out here. Because like I said, every time I go to the grocery store, it's just a shock to me. when you're sitting there looking and things are $100 and you're like, where? Just doesn't stop. It seems like you must have to spend like 300-400 bucks just to get any decent food. Especially when you start getting meats and other things like that, it starts getting crazy. So anyhow, there's the findhelp.org. That's there for you. So don't let anything go by. If you need some help out there, there's several companies and nonprofits. Some of them cost nothing. Some of them cost a little bit. But either way, there's some help. If you have mental health, 211.org. Just remember those things. You need help, OCs. Make sure you guys go get it. The other thing, stock market is not the only place that you can make money. But the stock market is one of the only places that have dividends that you could be making money, right? One of my favorites. Let me go look right now at what JEPQ's been doing. Is it still around 53 to 55? Because if it is, that means you're around 10.5 to 11.5% return on your money. Oh, come on now. Are you serious with this? Let's go look. Okay. All right. Okay. No, it's not coming up the price. Not that quick. Whoa. We're down to 10%, 59.49. Wow. So see, ladies and gentlemen, just a year ago or so, it was at 53. You would have been at 11.5 to 12%. Now you're going to be down to around 10% because it's at 59 right now, which is still over 10, but not much. Much better to do 11 or 12%, right? But 10% is not bad in this era either. So that's JEPQ. Just so you guys know, those are one of my favorites. We used to be in some other ones, but they didn't. They started doing this. So that hopefully can help you out as well. Now, we also need you to make sure your credit's right. That's how you get your free up some money as well. Because we need you at 775 credit score by the end of the year. There's just no way around it. And there's a reason. If in case you're new here watching this, you guys know the same thing. I've been running the same live streams and pretty much saying the same thing. You guys need to get your debt down, which frees up money that you can use to invest. It's that simple. Unless, of course, your job is giving you a 10 to 15% raise every year, which I doubt. So, once again, these are the type of things you should be paying attention to, making sure that you can get that down. So what do? We go get smart credit, and I talk about this just like on Wednesday. Go get your smart credit. If you can't, this is one way you can actually track your credit. This is also another way. Wow, that's interesting. You can track your credit and improve your credit and have identity theft fraud as well. That helps out. And down below, there'll also be some help for you. All right? There'll be some additional ways you can get more credit. But nowadays, you can easily go to Credit Karma or something like that, and they tell you what you more than likely will qualify for. So this isn't like before you can guess or take a chance. They kind of tell you what you're highly rated for. So there's no reason that you can't at least get a card, open up your lines of credit, and don't spend it. Just block it or something. So then that way your debt utilization goes down, so your credit score goes up. Just saying, okay? There's ways you can do mess around with the algorithms. That's one of them. But just keep in mind, you guys have to be out here doing something proactive because the cost of living is rising and SpaceX is not helping. All right? In fact, let's go look at what is their symbol anyhow? Is it SPCX? Is that what it is? Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Let's see what it ended at today. 160, ladies and gentlemen. 25%. So it looks like it brought in at about 130, 135. Is that what it was? Looks like the home team won at 135. They went up a quarter, 25%. It leveled off, came back to 160. It went up to the high of 176. Then it dropped to 160. So what's the deal? It went from, well, it doesn't even want to tell me. Why? What the heck? Why aren't you going to the beginning? Okay, it looks like 135. That's what it looks like. So it went to and now it's 160, somewhere around there. 163 after hours, 167. It is what it is. Lockheed down, Apple down a little, Boeing down a little, Tesla up. That's weird, and it's $400 a share. That's incredible. That is really incredible. All right. Anything else for SpaceX? Closes at 161, jumping 19% on record debut. Record. You have $600 billion purchased by the rich guys I told you about. Goldman Sachs and BlackRock and the usual suspects. 600 billion of the IPO they own. The Saudis, the Qataris, the UAE, and all those guys own another like 75 to 100 billion. So there you go. There's accounted for 700 billion of the buy. And then you got your friends who were already in the previous stuff who spent 40 billion or 20 billion. They figured they better spend some more to get some more of the shares here. So Musk becomes first trillionaire, of course. Let's call it what it is. You can you can end world hunger. He could end world hunger by himself. He can end homelessness by himself. But he's too busy doing some other stuff. We got to put up thousands of satellites so we can check on you, citizens of the world, because we're not going to Mars or the moon. It's this crazy stuff right now. Crazy stuff. So anyhow, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys invest in this stock or not? Because if you did, I want to know why you did. Because it was Elon Musk and SpaceX? And it's going to be very interesting how long he's going to make this public. Because he's notorious for doing this public thing on the stock market, then all of a sudden trying to move it back. I think this time he's going to have to stay on this for a little while. But Tesla has come a long way from 110 over the years. So once again, just think about what you're out here doing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to be on here too long because I don't have to. All right. I got some other things that I need to deal with, unfortunately. So that's why we're not going to be on here too long. The forum is open. I know I was late, so I have to apologize, but I just want you guys to understand there's a serious cogs in the wheel of the empire. And so once that happens, my mind starts glitching. It's like, wait, it can't be. No, not. It's like glitching right now. So my mind can't even think properly. So let's get down to more business, shall we? While I'm in the background doing some things. What else is there to invest in at this point? There's going to come a time when homes, which are not really assets unless you turn them into assets. How do you turn them into assets? Well, you could actually have like services. You know, I'm not saying homeless people, but I'm saying people that have mental issues or health issues, wheelchairs, rehabs, things of this nature. Rent out $1,500 to $2,000 per room based on the government or the city or the state. That's another opportunity that you could do. If you want to get involved with that, then you have to come up with rules and regulations and make sure that your place fits who you're going to have, who you're going to house there. So that would make things very, very interesting. So once again, there's different ways that you can actually make money. Social media is still here. It's always going to be there. But remember, they take like 40, 50, 60, 70% of your money. And you're giving them intellectual properties. You're giving them content. You're giving them your information. So that means they get to sell your information and make more money. They get to market to advertisers to make more money. And they leave you with just kibbles and bits. It's a whole string that they're making money off of. It's not just simply you made your 70 or what is that, 55-45 split in YouTube's favor or TikTok's favor. No. They make more off of the information they receive by people watching this right now. They're taking up where you're living, what you're looking at, and crawling through your laptops, tablets, phones, That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So just keep in mind, everything you have, all this stuff, these computers, everything right now, they're crawling through my laptop right now, trying to figure out all that smack I've been talking for the last 2 months or month. They're trying to figure out what's he talking about, what's he doing, can we find some information? I'm just playing. No, I'm not playing, ladies and gentlemen. All right? That's what they're out here doing. Because they're going to be trying to stay ahead. Try to always stop you from taking them down or joining them, finding the little secret codes. Well, we found the secret codes. That's not the problem. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. First things first. You're going to have to get on the SSN Nation plan because at the 31st of December, it expires. You're going to need that 775 credit score. That's the one thing. The second thing, you need that bank account outside the United States. And the third thing, you need property or real estate or business or something that generates money outside the United States. You get those three things. You got 7 months, 6 months to go. Or you start writing papers. You start doing stories. I couldn't believe it. Right on cue. Last night, remember we were talking about on Wednesday books and doing certain things, and last night I'm listening and I hear a guy talking about stories. All he's doing is he's sitting at a table, he's talking, and he's talking about real life stories that happened, whether it's murder or robberies or anything that was in the news. He makes a story and tells the story of how everything happened. This guy, come to find out, is on Spotify and on other platforms, and he's just telling the story, and he's in a little, makes it look nice, a little location with books and candles and things of this nature, but he's just sitting there telling the story, and it's getting hundreds of thousands of views, and he makes money, and it's a series like once a week. Can you believe this? Real life stories, he's given the story, and people are watching it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, it created an intellectual property for Spotify, I think he's on, or Netflix, I don't know which one it was. But the point is, this is funny because he has a series. And I said, geez, this is just what we're talking about. Break out those papers, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell stories. In fact, it's Friday night. We have story night, right? Story night. Well, I don't feel much like making stories right now. All right? I'm sure I'm going to come up with something. But I am a little frustrated, deflated a little bit, I have to admit. Because it's not good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here. Let me come up with some good stories. All right? I usually have tons of them, but right now my mind's glitching because I'm just like, this is crazy. Spaceex, IPO, what did you think? Do we have anybody that's going to tell me if they bought any other shares? Anybody going to tell me what they decided to do today? Did they just sit on the sideline and watch the parade go by and wait for the stock to come back down to earth? I just find it hard to believe that this stock is actually going to keep rising. But I'm pretty sure somebody's going to be making some promises to make sure it goes back up. In 2 years, we're going to deploy 6,000 satellites. I'm like, man, that's a lot of space junk up there. That's a whole lot of it. And there's a whole lot of it already up there. That's going to be very, very interesting. Now, what about Rocket Labs? Anybody going to take a gander and go check them out, or they're just going to be forgotten about right now? The companies that actually do the same thing. It's kind of like, so it's kind of very hard to figure out what's going to happen, but you do know one thing. You better figure out your intellectual properties, ladies and gentlemen. Your trademark, copyrights, whatever you got, you better figure it out because the service industry is here. All right? People are going to read. People are going to write. People are going to tap their screens. They're going to do whatever they can do, but it's all going to be based not on manufacturing. Somebody building something, that's not going to happen. Okay, let's go. MDA0214 is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he says, why buy an overpriced stock when there are a ton of undervalued stock with higher real growth potential percentage-wise? MDA0214, you know where he gets his information, ladies and gentlemen? He looks for it. He goes into the financial details, so he knows what he's saying. This is exactly true. There's a whole bunch of undervalued stocks because those stocks nobody really talks about. They don't do a big hoorah about it, but that's how investors can make money because they are profitable businesses making money, actually sell good services, and they've been doing it. Not for a month, not for weeks, for years. And they have a growth pattern. So he has something to say about this. This is true. This is why once you start studying, and especially in the stock business, it takes studying. So once you start studying, everything turns out all right. Most of the time. You can't account for something crazy happening like a war, right? Or anything else that's going to happen, right? So again, he's got you on the right track. That's all I can say. MDA0214, thank you so much for the comment, because that's exactly what people should be doing. And especially in this environment where these high-flying stocks that they all talk about, the Magnificent Seven, they're overpriced in reality. It's just that they get multiples that no other corporations or companies get. And if you don't understand what I mean by multiples, if they were in a not the companies they were, instead of what they would be half price, for instance, because they would only have like a 6, 7x, 5x multiple, not a 25x multiple. Big difference. But see, that's where the danger comes in. And that means just what MDA0214 is saying, you could actually find some gems a la Warren Buffett style. All right, just saying. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it's Friday night. It's the weekend's here. Most people are out there partying, spending money, liabilities, but the future is guaranteed to cost you more. So by not planning for the future costing more is a problem. That's what you have to do, what you should be thinking about right now, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't know. And if you have children, good luck. Because the cost to raise children is crazy. I mean, real crazy these days. So I'm having a hard time just going down the aisles anyhow when it's just me and the wife. I can't even imagine if we had 3 kids. I'd be like, wait a minute, this $100 I just spent would be how much? Because we got 3. That would be another $150. I'm like, per week? 250, 300. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Maybe because I'm in Cali right now it might matter, but I don't think so. I think the prices are high no matter where you live. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter. One grocery bag is $100, $90, $80. It's crazy. So this is what we're dealing with out here. This is your new normal. Just because gas prices go down does not mean anything's going to really change. Gas might go down, so what? You still have to live through energy bills, the electrical bills, the gas bills, the water bills. All of that stuff is coming. It's not going down. It's insane. That's all I can say. Insane, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. MDA0214 says private market and small cap stocks is where you make the real money. Big cap stocks don't grow enough, and I got a couple that I'm red on, but I'm confident they'll 20x. Yeah, he studies, ladies and gentlemen. He's not a guy that just says, oh, willy-nilly, go pick something. No, he studies. That's what you have to do when you want to make money. You have to study. You have to do the right thing. You have to figure out a plan. You just can't go, oh, I think I'll just go with this one I heard about from my guy on Discord groups or something. No, you have to go look at it. Go study. See if it's worth your investment, right? Go find out what they've been doing for the last 3 years. Find out what's happened this year. What are they bringing in the pipeline? Find out something about the company. This used to be old school when people would invest in stocks. You know, they'd open up the Wall Street Journal. no YouTubes, none of this going on. You would have to determine on your own merit. Hey, let's check the financials. What's the profit margin? What's the profit and the margin this year? It's kind of like, how much do they owe? Simple, same stuff, just like you. How much do they owe? How much are their bills? Do they have any revenue? Do they have any profit? What's the profit numbers? Wow, it went down year over year for the last 3 quarters. It's in a downward trend. You would have those type of things. You would have to calculate, is it worthy for you and why? So just think of all those things, just like real life, right? Tamara Larry, another investor's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. So I want to thank you so much for being in the house with that tagline, hello all, always simple, always nice to see you. So thank you so much for being in the house. And by the way, I want to let everybody know who's ever invested in the Dominican Republic. Remember, we were talking about Larimar City. I may have some big news for you. And I'm just going to let you know what the news is. Because they were talking a little mess and said, hey, Eric, because you guys know I told you I haven't paid at Larimar since 2024, I think. It was either January or some February or March was my last payment. So all this time, there's plenty of people who have done the same thing. So they basically felt they lost, their money and everything, right? Come to find out, that is not the case. They're acting a little different. It's kind of strange, but it's different. They're saying, oh no, you haven't lost anything because we haven't delivered anything yet. And I'm like, okay, you could get some points for this. So anyhow, when the guy wanted to buy my unit, and we have an accounting error, but again, that'll have to wait till I get back to the East Coast because that's where the paperwork is, but I don't know when I'm getting back there. But the point is, they said I only had given them 14 grand. And I was like, what are you talking about? I've definitely probably 20, 21. They said, no, we don't have no record. I said, oh, that's right. I didn't wire it. I came to the office, so you guys stamped it, and I gave you cash. I forgot. Yeah, that's okay. We have something off here because the down payment was damn near 14. It was 13.3 or 4 or something. So I was like, there's no way. It's not like I didn't never make a payment at all. So anyhow, so the guy couldn't buy it from me. Because he was like, I told him, hey, man, you got to give me 25. Because I'm pretty sure I gave them 20, 21. It's somewhere in there. And then I stopped. He's like, well, they said 14. So I was like, well, 25. So anyhow, I said, hey, somebody else across the hall wants to sell theirs so they can sell it. So then the best thing ever happened. They sent me a message and said, Eric, you don't lose anything. In fact, we're just racking up a little late fees. Now, the late fees were only $1,100 in 2 years. That's nothing. So I said, well, what does that mean? They said, well, when we deliver and you buy it, pay your remaining amount and buy it, they waive the late fees. I'm like, I don't really care about 2 G's, 1,100 G. That didn't matter to me. The fact is, though, I said, what did you exactly say right now? You're saying that nobody's going to be penalized, or I'm not going to be penalized, and that I can just buy it a year and a half, 2 years from now when you deliver it? They're like, yeah. So just so you guys know, I asked for the clarification. I said, are you going to give me an amendment? You're going to amend my contract to say this? Because if you do, that would be pretty major, because there's lots of people who stopped their payments and they didn't lose their property. So that means this is a good thing. This is a win-win-win situation. So get back to me when you officially make me amended and going to sign something, because then I can start bragging. I could be like, oh, this is good. And actually that pulled the trigger because, we have this other company called SSN Lifestyle. And now we can get on with that vacation club thing and use Larimar as part of the vacation club. So that would have been sweet, because now don't even have to do anything for about 2 years is my expectations. 2028, wake me up. They might be delivering sometime in that arena, right in that area. So that means we have plenty of time to get the vacation club together, add some more properties, add that, and do some things. knowing that we're going to have delivery of it, whatever iteration comes. So that would be pretty sweet. So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, just letting you know, and Johan Confidante did not come on this week. He's going to have to come on next week. I'm going to have to hit him up and be like, hey, man, I thought you were going to come on. Let's happen. Talk about some of this DR stuff going down the last 2-3 years. Because a lot of people are disgruntled. A lot of people are happy. It all depends on what side of the fence you're on. If you had your delivery or not. If it's 2 years or 3 years later or not. It all depends on who you are. That's what's going to matter. So, just stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully he'll be on next week. In fact, I'm going to hit him up tomorrow and be like, hey, man, you got to be on Monday or Wednesday at least. Come on now. I've been teasing that you're going to be on so people can ask questions. We'll find out. And you can ask any question when he comes on. So stay tuned for next week. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click the all notification bell, if that helps. And go around the internet on social media and look up Stop Struggling Now. We got some of that too. We're on those platforms as well. So once again, just make sure you guys get everything together, because things are going to go down next year, and I want you to be prepared. All right, you got to get yourself in position. Just like MDA 0214 is out here studying, you need to study on something that's going to bring money in your pocket, because let's say the price goes up 20%. Are you going to be able to survive? The answer is going to be 8 out of 10 of you already cannot. So that just means it's going to increase to 8.3, 8.5. Are we going to be like Canada, where 8.5 out of 10 people live paycheck to paycheck? Pretty much. I believe that's where this is going. So you guys are going to have to protect yourselves out here, because you never know what's going to happen. Now, with all that said, I've only been doing this 37 minutes. This just means it's a podcast night, because it's nice and short and sweet. It's not a 2 hours, 3 hours. But I just want to let you know, one thing's for sure. You're going to have to make more money. There's no way around it. All right? Mandatory. And I hope you guys have jobs, because AI is about to sweep the table off of any job that requires just, hey, go get me some information and bring it to me after your team rounds it up. Them days are over. AI is pretty powerful. Even machine learning. I mean, it's been out for like 70 years. I mean, come on. It's not like 80 years. It's not like it was called machine learning. Now they're making it AI. But nonetheless, that's all we can do. Right? It's coming. And they can actually do everything. I mean, they can make docs. They can make PDFs. They can come up with a plan. They can actually strategically do brainstorming. So this AI stuff is going to be revolutionary. So all of you who are, inventors, entrepreneurs, people that have dreams, you can do all of it. And you can pay a little bit of money, $20, $25, $30 per month, to create your dreams of a lifetime. It's crazy. It's crazy good, actually. But how many people are actually going to do it, right? Just like anything else. When you actually have to go through some gates, all of a sudden less and less people come along for the ride, no matter how easy it is. They figure out there's gates and they'll stop. Oh, it's too rough for me. Well, that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get left behind if you don't learn the new wave of what's coming down. It's no joke. So that's an asset, right? Knowledge is an asset. Information is an asset. You can exploit it. You can use it. You can improve yourself with it. So that's an asset. So make sure you guys get on board. All right. I'm not going to be on here too much longer, because I actually have a lot of cleanup on Al 5. Because I think this will be the 6th video on the live streams. I haven't made any new videos. And I guess I should make a new video instead of a live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I guess I should throw up some thumbnails now. And I guess I should get back to a little social media as well. So we'll see how it all turns out. But I'm going to get out of here tonight. And we'll see you on Monday night. Have a great weekend. Stay out of trouble, everybody. But remember, I love you guys. I appreciate your support over all these years. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, and it's only going to get harder, but don't worry. You can handle it, but people are not handling it very well. So you're always going to have to be paying attention to your surroundings, to your background, to your foreground. Pay attention to what's going on because people are not well. Just remember that. Be safe over this weekend. And no matter what you do out here, regardless of what happens, you always keep your head up. Keep moving.